By now, I'm pretty sure you've already heard about the scariest trek in Meghalaya, known as the Bamboo Trek. It is better known as the Maurikang Trek. So, what is the legend behind this particular trek and why are so many people fascinated with it? Maurikang is a legendary stone and its stories have passed through generations. While is a mark of respect and is something similar to Mr. in English or Shri in Hindi, Maurikang means the king of stones. The legend says that Maurikang won all the wars with other stones and was thus crowned the king of stones. As destiny would have it, Maurikang fell in love with a beautiful stone from another kingdom. The name of this maiden was Kithyang, which means tall, slim and beautiful lady. Unfortunately, there was a rival king called Mapathor, another huge stone who was also in love with Kithyang. Left with no option, Maurikang and Mapathor entered into combat. During the fight, Mapathor broke Maurikang's left arm. Not one to be defeated, the king of stones hit Mapathor with such immense force that Mapathor's head fell off into deep gorge. Maurikang won his love interest, Kithyang, who even today stands behind him with solid rock force. Till this day, from the top of Maurikang, you can see the head of Mapathor in the deep gorge down below. So Maulingbanna is a small, rather tiny village on the map of Meghalaya. It is quite insignificant and unexplored, and you know this because if you were to type the name Maulingbanna on Google Maps, it'll autocorrect itself to Mausanram, which happens to be the region with the highest rainfall in the world. So this beautiful khasi village is bordering the Wangarishi plains and happens to be a treasure trove of some of the most unique natural wonders of India. It is a keeper of the world's natural history and has played a very important role in establishing the recently announced Meghalayan age, which the world as we know it today is supposed to be living in since 4,200 million years. So embedded in the limestone rocks across the plateau of Maulingbanna are fossilized remains of sharks, sea urchins, starfish and other aquatic creatures dating back to the Cambrian age, which happens to be 450 million years ago. So this gives credence to the theory that millions of years ago the land of Meghalaya was an ocean bed with the sea flowing across it. Beyond this, there's a legend to the village of Maulingbanna as well. There's a place called the Luri Lura marketplace. And according to the Khasi folklore, the Luri Lura is a fabled marketplace of animals and speaks of a time when animals could talk. The undulations of this stretch of land appear like imprints of animal hooves. So the Luri Lura, which means the market of chaos, is a fabled marketplace of animals from the time when the Khasis believe animals used to talk. This unusual stretch of what appears like a dried up seabed or solidified lava has waves upon waves of impressions that resemble animal hoofprints, thus supporting the folktale of the Luri Lura market. The market where animals could talk, engage in trade and more or less lived like human beings. You can call it a mythology or a fable, but without a doubt this place has its own very unique touch that you're not going to get in any part of the world. And in fact, even in Meghalaya, this is a very unique story that is very, very special to the people of Maulingbanna. You've probably heard about the famous 3,600 steps trek all the way to the village of Nongriat, where you can see the double-decker living root bridge. But did you know that Meghalaya is also home to a host of other treks with their own very unique stories? Chief among this is the David Scott's Trail. So who was David Scott? Sir David Scott was one of the first English officers to be sent to the northeast of India during the British period. His operations stretched for almost 30 years, from the year 1802 to 1832, and were mostly in the Khasi Hills and the surrounding areas. Under his order, a horse cart trail was laid down across the hills and jungles from Assam to Sylhet in the present-day Bangladesh. This route was almost 100 kilometers long and was used to carry goods across the two destinations. This route was also the cause of the war between Uttarod Singh, king of the local Siamship, and the British. The Anglo-Khasi War went on for almost 4 years. The Khasis lacked firearms and had only bows and arrows, swords and shields, and were obviously untrained in the British way of warfare. Uttarat Singh and the other Khasi leaders soon found out that they were no match for the well-trained British soldiers, and so they resorted to guerrilla warfare. This continued for 4 years until Uttarat Singh was captured and deported to Bangladesh, where he passed away in 1835. So the present-day David Scott Trail is a stretch of about 16 kilometers from the village of Mauplang to the village of Lad Mauplang, and is a very beautiful single-day hike. So beginning from the quaint Mauplang village, the trail takes a winding route across the hills and valleys of East Khasi Hills, while ascending and descending at times. It's an easy trek and takes about roughly 4 to 6 to 8 hours depending on your pace and how long you spent within the hills itself. The scenery that you come across is absolutely stunning. The beauty of Meghalaya's landscape can be seen fully here on this particular trail. In a lot of ways, Kongthong resembles countless other villages nestled in the lushy forested East Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. The land is dotted by quaint huts and farms, fringed with betel nuts. This tiny hamlet is inhabited by nearly 700 villagers who cultivate the land, hunt in the forest, and live a very peaceful pastoral life. However, it is the sounds, not the sights, that make Kongthong different. For generations, the villagers have communicated with each other using a very unique form of whistled identity instead of names. In Kongthong, every time a baby is born, the mother composes a lullaby that becomes a unique identity of the child for life. Moreover, the lullaby has no words and is just a tune, a kind of hum that only the villagers are able to recognize and remember. Typically inspired by nature and natural sounds, each lullaby or Chingruwail Yabai is the tribe's dialect. It's anything from half a minute to a minute long. The mothers of the village use these melodious tunes to call out to their children, learn to respond to them quickly. After it has been ensured that the whistled lullaby is distinct from all others, in fact has become a permanent identity marker for all children here. Interestingly, it is only the title of the lullaby, about 5 to 6 seconds long, that is used by the villagers to call out to each other. Among themselves, they never use their official names. What's really more is that this musical heritage also plays an important role in the courting rituals of the village. Every summer on a full moon night, the villagers light a bonfire and take part in a celebration in which every unmarried young man sings his own tune. The one who does this the best is usually chosen by the prettiest single woman as a groom. As for the origin of this unusual tradition, it remains shrouded in mystery, but the villagers believe that if unseen spirits of the nearby forest hear someone's name being called out, it makes the person fall ill. So using the lullaby is a way of protecting from danger. Local folklore also includes tales of villagers being saved from attacks by dacoits thanks to the system of communication. The person under attack would give a distress call using their specific lullaby, outwitting the goons and getting rescued in no time.